If you want to improve battery life on the Xiaomi 17T or 17T Pro, let me show you what you can do. So first of all, we're gonna begin by going to settings. Then over here in settings, we're gonna scroll down and then we want to go to battery. And then here we're gonna start from the top. So here we have the current mode. Of course, if you use the performance mode all the time, the battery is going to last less time than when using, for example, the balanced mode. You might say I can also use the battery saver or even the ultra battery saver. And technically, yes, you can do that. But the intended use of these modes is to keep the battery temporarily for as long as possible. I mean, keep them alive for as long as possible, because you don't have the option to charge your phone. I don't think it's really a good idea to always have these modes enabled. And in the case of the ultra battery saver, the usage of your phone is very, very limited, because you only have access to certain apps and there is nothing that you can actually do. Maybe not nothing, but you can do very little things on your phone with this option enabled. And the purpose of this is to just simply keep the phone alive to answer calls or read messages if someone sends you a text message. Now, besides that, we also have the battery checkup option, which is a very good way to actually quickly improve the battery life, because if you go over here, you will get a bunch of different suggestions on what you can do to actually extend the battery life. So for example, in my case, I can close apps that drain battery. We have some examples. I can enable automatic screen brightness over here. We also have a couple of additional suggestions that are not activated automatically, but of course, if I want to, I can just turn them on. And you can see that these suggestions individually, they don't really give that much time, additionally, of course. But if I just keep selecting everything and more stuff, then you will notice that collectively they actually give me 1 additional hour, which is quite decent, of course. Now, of course, whatever you have in here in suggestions depends on what you have enabled or disabled in settings, and so on and so forth. And of course, if you want to, you can just uncheck whatever you don't want to be included, and then once you're ready, you can just tap on this add button that we have at the bottom of the screen. After all, it's up to you what you want to use or what should be enabled. Now, besides that, if you go to charging options, then over here we have smart charging, which technically is the recommended option. It is actually enabled by default. And apparently it adjusts charging speed automatically based on the battery level, temperature, and app usage. This feature makes charging faster at low battery and keeps performance smooth at high battery. This is pretty much something like fast charging, but I guess like with an additional step. So it's up to you if you want to actually use it or not, but I guess it is the recommended option to actually have it enabled, so you can check if you do have it. Now, besides that, we have battery protection, and this is where we have, I think, one of the biggest impacts on the battery life, especially if you start using it early on. So we have battery protection and intelligent charging. Both of these options limit charging to 80%. And you might think, why would I even do that? The answer is quite simple. Nowadays, batteries are made in such a way that the optimized or the most optimal percentage for them when the charging is 80%. That is, you should charge your battery only to 80% instead of 100%. And this will allow you to keep the battery in a healthy state, which we can check over here, for a longer time. Of course, there is something called battery aging, which reduces the battery capacity and drops the battery health, and this is something that happens with every smartphone sooner or later, and there is nothing that you can do to actually fully stop it, because it is inevitable. You will always lose a little bit of battery over time, but of course you can do, for example, this to slow this process down, and then you will experience battery aging later. And the difference between these two options is that battery protection is just like a limit, just straight up a limit, 80% limit. You cannot really turn it off, you cannot adjust it or anything like that. So when you start charging your phone, you can only charge to 80% and that's it. Intelligent charging allows you to also limit the battery to 80%, but in addition to that, the smartphone tries to figure out how you charge your phone, when you start charging, how long you charge your phone, and when you stop charging, and stuff like that. And then, after some time, once it collects enough data, it can try to predict when you are about to unplug the charger from the phone. So when you start charging, the phone is going to charge only to 80%, And then when the phone can predict that you are about to unplug within like 30 minutes or so, then the phone can allow itself to charge from 80% to 100%. So this can be the better option, but it works the best if you have actually a charging pattern. That is, you always charge at the same time for the same amount of time. If you charge your phone randomly, then I just think the standard battery protection is going to be better. Now, of course, I can understand if limiting yourself to 80% of the battery is annoying to you. So in that case, of course, you don't have to use it. You can just set to charge fully and you will be able to charge your phone always to 100%. But still, since we are talking about improving battery life, I had to mention this. Alright, so after that we also have additional features where we have clear cache when a device is locked, so you can just clear cache whenever you lock your phone after like 10 minutes or 30 minutes. This is also a pretty solid choice to have enabled. Let's say I'm gonna set it to in 10 minutes. There's also the 5G battery saver, which makes 5G connectivity less power consuming in certain scenarios, so we can just enable it. And there is also cold endurance mode, which in my case it was enabled automatically. It limits device performance to extend battery life in cold environments. Now right now I'm recording this in the summer, so I don't think this makes any use. But of course, if you live in, let's say, countries or areas where it's always cold, then of course you can use this feature and it's going to be probably helpful. Now besides that, we can see the battery usage over here, so you can clearly notice which apps drain the battery the most. Now in some cases you can actually do something about it. If you notice that certain apps use more battery than they should, you can tap on the app over here to go to battery details of that app, and then you can, for example, make some change over here in the battery saver section. For example, you can close apps after 10 minutes of background activity. So of course, if you open an app and then you just close it, then it stays active in the background all the time. And of course, this can drain the battery. You might want to close after 10 minutes if you don't do anything, or you can just completely restrict the background app. And one thing that you have to consider is that some apps actually require to be allowed to be run in the background all the time. So of course, if you restrict access completely, then, or even if you set this option over here, you might notice that certain apps might not work properly after those 10 minutes or after you just close them. So you probably want to be careful with this, but if you are certain that there is nothing wrong if the app cannot run in the background, then of course you can just close it. I mean, you can just set up the restriction. Now, besides that, what we can do is we can go to display and brightness settings, and many of these options in here were actually in the battery checkup. And that is because display settings actually have a huge impact on the battery as well. For example, it is better to use the dark mode than the light mode. Dark mode uses less battery. It is better to use the automatic screen brightness because the more screen brightness you use all the time, the battery is going to be drained quicker. It is always better to use as little screen brightness as possible. But of course, it is not always suitable. For example, if you are outside, then, well, you will not use the smallest amount of screen brightness over here. You always want to use just enough so that you can actually comfortably use the phone. This is why the automatic brightness is going to be useful in here. And besides that, of course, I have to mention the refresh rate. Although I would not actually change the refresh rate to 60 Hz, it is just better to use 60 Hz simply because it uses less battery. Now, I know the visual experience is much worse if you use 60 Hz, so I don't actually recommend you to switch that, but this is something that also has an impact on battery, so I have to mention this. Besides that, if you go to personalization, you can find always on a display, which you can of course disable. There is also the always on display notifications, which you can also turn off in here. You will definitely save the battery quite a bit if you disable these features. Fingerprints effect, you can also turn them off, these animations, although I'm not sure if they actually have a huge impact on the battery, but still, this is something that I can turn off, of course. And I'm actually gonna turn them off, I like them. And besides that, we have a couple of additional settings that maybe they are less known, but they still have quite a bit of an impact on the battery. For example, we're gonna go to location in here. Then here we're gonna choose location services, and you should be able to find Wi-Fi scanning and Bluetooth scanning. You want to disable both of these options. there is really no need to have these options enabled all the time, and whenever the phone needs to use any of these features, you will be informed about it, and your phone will simply guide you to turn them on. So of course, temporarily you can just turn them on whenever you have to do so, but other than that, there is really no point of having these options enabled. And actually they can save the battery quite a bit if you just turn them off. Now, besides that, we can also go to Google over here. Let's open Google Services. Then we're gonna switch to All Services. Then scroll down and find Usage and Diagnostics. And you want to turn this option off. It's going to save the battery a little bit as well. And besides that, I also want to mention things that are running in the background that are like visual, apps that are improving the visual experience, if I can say it like that. What I mean is that if you use apps that, for example, allow you to have an animated wallpaper or stuff like that, then of course they are going to drain the battery quite a bit. Of course, having an animated wallpaper or live wallpaper, it's really great, it's very fun, and I like it as well, but still, they drain the battery more than, for example, a static wallpaper. It's, after all, up to you if you want to use an animated wallpaper or if you want to save the battery. But if you use these things, these fancy tools that that are running pretty much all the time in the background, they are constantly updated in the background, then they will drain the battery, and you will probably notice it if you check the battery usage graph that I had shown you in battery settings. And the last thing that I want to mention, although it might sound silly and maybe even obvious to some people, you want to turn off connections, all these different connections and features that are pretty much always enabled, and they can also save you the battery. What I mean is, for example, Wi-Fi, mobile data, Bluetooth, NFC, location, and so on and so forth. Of course, I'm not saying to have these options always enabled. That is not the point. My point is to turn them off whenever you don't use them at the given time. So for example, right now I don't have any Bluetooth device connected to my phone. There is no need for me to have Bluetooth enabled. I can just turn it off. If I am outside of my home, I can just turn off Wi-Fi because I will not be connected to any Wi-Fi whatsoever. So there is no point to have it enabled. Of course, when I come back home, I can just re-enable Wi-Fi and start using it again. When I try to connect my earbuds or wireless headphones, I can just enable Bluetooth again. So this, if you constantly do this on your phone, you will definitely see a slight improvement of the battery, and you will probably notice that it is that you're about to keep the battery for a bit longer time than normally. So I think that is pretty much everything that I wanted to mention in this video. If there is anything else that I didn't mention in this video that you think is helpful to enable or disable on this phone to improve the battery life, then please write it in the comments. So everyone who is watching this video, you can also check out comments to see if there is more. So of course you can improve your battery even more. And that is all. And also, if you need more guides for Xiaomi 17T or 17T Pro, then be sure to check out my channel. Leave a like and subscribe.